Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and welcome to another episode of Wolfula Chat, my animated horror review and news show that I make in between my not-animated big live-action reviews.
Oh, hey, Ghoulash here.
Hey, jackass, I haven't introduced you yet.
People know who I am by now, sir.
A little overconfident there. I barely know who you are and I live with you.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, congratulations on the 100,000 subscribers milestone, sir. So, where's your silver play button?
Hey, how about you shut the fuck up? Now, in case you folks are unfamiliar, Wolfula Chat is where Ghoulash and I discuss the latest shit happening in the world of horror, but, as you all probably know, there isn't much happening in the world of horror right now.
Yeah, what with the actual world being a world of horror right now?
Holy shit, you're blowing my mind right now. Did you just think of that?
Yeah, it just came to me.
Well, it made me think. Good work. Anyway, yeah, Halloween Kills canceled, Jigsaw canceled, Candyman probably canceled.
None of those movies are canceled, sir. They're just delayed.
Well, it's more provocative to say canceled. It's 2020, and the other thing that comes with that is theaters not being open, so we're at the mercy of our benevolent entertainment gods to give us whatever meager scraps they'll be willing to cast off onto VOD'd us hungry dogs.
Like Scoob.
Oh god, don't remind me. So we're forced to cover another of those meager scraps, a new horror film released to VOD called The Rental.
And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, it lives up to its title.
Whoa, did you just come up with that too?
Oh, you better believe it.
Wow, you are on fire today. Anywho, The Rental is from the twisted and dark mind of, Dave Franco.
Yeah, this is his writing and directorial debut.
Oh god, the lesser Franco brother is making movies. Just kill me now. And when you're the lesser to James Franco, that's really saying something.
What about Tom Franco?
Who the fuck is Tom Franco?
The middle Franco brother. He was in Basket Case 2.
I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, let's just discuss the movie.
Gladly. The Rental is about four shitheads who rent a lavish beachfront estate for a weekend retreat.
One of those shitheads is played by Alison Brie, Dave Franco's wife.
Taking a page from Rob Zombie's playbook, eh, Dave?
So the main shithead of the movie is Charlie, who's this snippy, condescending prick who is Alison Brie's husband.
He actually seems motivated. He's working. He's back in school.
I don't know if I call it 2 night classes back in school.
Despite Alison Brie's real-life husband writing this film, her character is the least interesting and most underwritten.
Yeah, she's kinda just there. Charlie and Alison Brie are joined on their trip by Charlie's dipshit slacker brother Josh, who was somehow dating Charlie's more successful CEO co-worker Mina.
This house on the coast, we figured it might be fun if the four of us took a trip this weekend, celebrate closing our seed fund.
Again, Alison Brie is just there.
Like always, there is a little doggy though. Anywho, Mina is reluctant to go to this getaway because she believes that her request to rent it was denied because she's Middle Eastern, but Charlie's later request was approved.
Look, discrimination obviously exists, and the name Mina Mohammadi is about as Middle Eastern as it gets. I'm just saying.
Yeah, even though they go in thinking there's some sketchy racism going on, they still pay the potential racist to rent the place.
Oh, well, the explanation is simple, Ghoulash. They paid out of spite.
They paid a racist guy out of spite?
Yeah, that'll show them. The racist dude in question is Taylor, played by the strongest man in the world, Toby Huss, who does horror movies now, I guess.
Gotta pay the bills.
Why do you gotta say it like that?
Well, Toby Huss is the closest thing to a delight in the movie, playing this smarmy landlord who just lets his casual prejudice slip out, along with sleazy quips.
How'd you get mixed up with this family?
What do you mean?
Well, I didn't mean anything by it.
He's like the one uncle at family gatherings that really wants you to be uncomfortable, totally on purpose.
Damn, I should have brought the telescope. Oh, I thought about it and I totally forgot.
What do you need a telescope in the city for? Unless you're like a peeping Tom or something.
Unfortunately, he's not in the movie that much. What is in the movie, though? Relationship drama.
Yeah, it turns out that Charlie isn't the most faithful dude around and sparks a fling with Mina, his brother's girlfriend.
Yes, Charlie cucks his brother, first in the hot tub, then in the shower later, which would be no big whoop since Charlie has cheated plenty of times, but this time it turns out somebody has bugged the place with cameras recording these infidelities.
Yeah, so this creates a weird tension between the cheaters and Alison Brie and Josh, but it's hard to really be sympathetic for Josh since he's just a loser, and Alison Brie since she's just a wastoid who can't exist without being high.
We're gonna do drugs. We're gonna have fun.
What if we had a more mellow night and played some board games or something?
Go ahead and waste your last night. I thought we came here to have a good time.
Yeah, they're all just a mess, and I honestly don't know why I should be invested with any of them. There's flawed characters, sure, and then there's uninteresting flawed characters who are also dicks.
The cheater characters are forced to stay in this sketchy situation because they need to get to the bottom of the mystery of the shower camera and where the footage is.
Also, they lose their doggy.
Okay, he's got to be around here somewhere.
Josh, it's all right. We'll find him.
That's the real tragedy.
Did you take my dog?
No, I heard what you said, partner. I'm just trying to figure out why you got a dog in here in the first place.
Honestly, this probably doesn't sound much like a horror movie based on our descriptions, but trust us, this is a horror movie. Not even a Sharon Stone sliver erotic thriller kind of deal. This is actually a slasher movie.
Yeah, it's just a slasher movie that doesn't become a slasher movie until the last 20 minutes.
The first hour is mostly a relationship drama. If it wasn't for the horror element, this probably could have been one of those Judd Apatow dramedies where you feel sad more often than you laugh. Speaking of which, Ghoulash, why do comedy shows and movies have to be so serious and dramatic these days?
Sir, your favorite sitcom is MASH. The finale of that show had Hawkeye repressing the memory of a mother killing her crying baby out of survival.
Yeah, it was funny though, because he imagined the dead baby as a chicken.
Hawkeye repressing a traumatic moment during a war by swapping a baby with a chicken is funny?
Yeah, it was pretty fucking funny. Oh, Hawkeye. A chicken? Probably had one too many martinis from the still.
It was a baby! She smothered her own baby!
Okay, yeah, so do you want to talk about the spoilers?
Oh, yeah, skip to this time code if you want to avoid spoilers, bitches.
So eventually Mina confronts Toby Huss about the cameras and things get physical. So Josh beats the shit out of Toby Huss.
Which is bad enough, but a guy sneaks into the house when the characters aren't looking and suffocates the knocked out Toby Huss.
Man, he just keeps getting suffocated in these horror movies.
This is actually happening.
I know, but I do not want to see my little brother go to jail for the rest of his life.
So then the movie switches gears where the characters try to dispose of the body so Josh doesn't go to prison for the crime he didn't actually commit, A-Team style.
The I know what you did last summer part of the movie goes on for a while.
Yeah, it feels like this movie is 3 screenplay ideas stapled together in order to reach a resolution.
And the resolution comes in the form of a really rushed slasher flick after Alison Brie sees footage of her husband railing his coworker, and the characters split up in search for clues, trying to find the rest of the incriminating shit.
Yeah, a dude wearing a mask that looks like if Werner Herzog was a Frankenstein monster shows up and kills all the characters swiftly and easily.
Not just all but one, every character is killed.
So there's that at least, but yeah, it's a pretty hollow ending. Who the killer is supposed to be and his motivation is completely ambiguous.
Which, you know, is par for the course in horror movies, but this killer's shtick is pretty convoluted when left to the imagination.
Yeah, so this dude finds random bed and breakfast to place cameras in so he can supposedly jack off to the footage or something. Then he eventually goes all Michael Myers on Vacationers sometimes? I don't know.
Dave Franco has said that a sequel might be made that would probably explain the killer, but it's not like the killer is interesting. We just don't know shit about him.
Yeah, we already know the key thing. He's a dog lover.
Yeah, at least there's that. The thing that troubles me the most about The Rental is that most indie filmmakers have to take major risks making their first movie, horror or otherwise. They might have to put what little money they have forward into the budget and hope that they can bring together the right people to make their vision successful.
With Dave Franco's first movie, there's no risk and plenty of room to fail. Dude's already famous and wealthy with Hollywood connections to get a cast and crew together easily that could be his safety net. So even though this is a weak patchwork script, it can at least be kept afloat by the overall competency of its production.
And this competency is usually enough to convince mainstream critics that a mediocre horror film is actually good, since most mainstream critics don't understand the horror genre to begin with.
And at the end of the day, if even absolutely nobody saw this movie, Dave Franco's still rich and an actor, and he at least would have gotten the learning experience of being a director risk-free. It's bullshit. The Rental honestly reminds me of that fucking terrible Netflix horror movie, The Open House, where they're both mostly dramas with a hint of horror, and then suddenly at the end, a killer shows up.
The Rental is slightly better than The Open House, but only slightly. If there wasn't so little to watch right now, honestly, I don't think anybody would have given The Rental, well, a rental. But this mediocrity has been allowed to thrive like so much else because there isn't anything new to see.
2020 truly is a terrible year when something like The Rental is allowed to shine at all. I give The Rental a blockbuster out of a mom and pop video video store.
If you've ever wanted to see Allison Brie motorboat Toby Huss's butt crack, though, this film has got you covered. You fucking weirdo.
Oh, thank you so much. You're a lifesaver.
Now it's time for a little animated segment I like to call Wolfula Fan Mail, where I answer your questions.
If you had to survive for 24 hours in any piece of horror media, what would it be and why?
It would probably be the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just don't go into the house uninvited. And if you are invited, you get a nice barbecue dinner. Sounds like my kind of scene. If you'd like your question answered in a future vid, email your query to drwolfulafanmail@gmail.com. If you like this video, like it. And if you loved it, journey further into the Wolfula by clicking the subscribe and bell buttons to find out when all of my latest videos and streams go live. This video was brought to you by my kind supporters on Patreon, whose names are scrolling by. Support the channel today on Patreon and get access to bonus movie and TV commentaries, audiobooks, comic readings, film live streams, and credits at the end of videos. Finally, I'd like to give a very special thanks to my true Wolfulite supporters on Patreon and my YouTube channel memberships for their pledges. Their support is greatly appreciated and helps the channel and my dark influence continue to grow. Thank you all once more from the bottom of my evil heart for your help. Alrighty, Dr. Wolfula signing out. See you all next time at the Wolfula.